Welcome to the Gavin Davis Limited channel. Today I'm talking about Perforce P4, which is a source control system which is commonly used in the Unreal space. It's a centralized version control system. I have other videos on my channel about it. And I'm talking about file deletion today because this is something that I've noticed a lot of people get very confused by how it actually works. So I'm not going to go super deep, but I'm just going to outline how it works from the user's perspective. So here's our hypothetical person, Richard, who's working with Unreal Engine 5, and he's deleted some files, but the directory tree is all still there in the workspace, which is confusing him no end. And then he's thinking, well, what are my colleagues seeing? Have the files disappeared from their workspaces or not? What happens when they sync? Are they still seeing all this cruft? Oh, these folders are empty. Why are they empty? So this is what I want to delve into here. So let's step back a bit. With P4, the depot is a centralized thing. This is the source of truth. This is like the real thing. And everyone syncs from and commits back to. So they submit change sets back to the depot. And it's up to you to periodically sync stuff down and to push your change sets back up. And in here, we've got a team of 3, Kenneth, Rita, and Richard. And there's no reason that people can't have multiple workspaces. So in this instance, Richard's got 2 workspaces, one on his Mac and one on his Windows machine. So let's say he's got a Mac laptop that he takes on the road and a Windows machine at home. The depot remains the source of truth. There's nothing connecting Richard's 2 workspaces. So we can use multiple workspaces. They can even be on the same machine to explore how all this stuff works. So what I did is I created a change set whereby I've got this massive Unreal 5 project and I've just got a little folder in it, Perforce Playground, that I use for just tinkering around with Perforce. And I created bar.txt in there, and I created a folder gavtest with a file bip in it. And I wanted the smallest possible example to work through. So we've got 2 files and we've added a directory with the second file. So there they are, the 2 files. The way to think about it is not that directories or folders, whatever you want to call them, are real things, because actually not. They're just part of the file name. So the /gavtest, that's just part of the file name. That's the key to understanding this as far as P4 is concerned. Now, your operating system, if you've got like a POSIX style operating system or Windows or whatever, like I think of folders like a thing in there. But whereas on an S3 style, Amazon S3 or something like that, like a bucket-based file system, it's often just really a flat list. And there's like the illusion of directories, but all they are is path filters. They're just saying everything that starts like this, group this together. I mean, there's a little more to it than that, but that's like a broad abstraction. And I want you to notice that about this change set I'm submitting. It's 2 things. It's not 3 things. There isn't the folder that's the 3rd thing. That's critical to understand. So we can see if I use the command line and I use the P4 files command to look in the depot, so the source of truth, not my local workspace, looking in Perforce Playground, gavtest, I can see, yeah, there's 1 file in that folder, path template, start of path. P4 files in Perforce Playground bar.txt. Yep, there's a file there. It's a text file. All good. That's exactly what we'd expect. That's our story so far. We've created the files in our local workspace. We've submitted them to our depot via a change set, and we've verified that they're there. Usually you wouldn't need to verify it. I've only just done that for completeness to show that, yeah, they're there. Now we want to delete it. Now we don't like these files anymore. So here is a change set. What I've done is I deleted these through P4V. There's other ways you can do it. I'll go through other ways to delete later, but I've right-clicked. I've said mark for delete. I've created a change set, and this is on my Mac. It might look a little different on Windows, but I'm on my Mac here. And when I've submitted that, I can see that 2 things have been done in this revision. Bar.txt has gone away and gavtest bip has gone away. Again, not 3 things. There's nothing pertaining to a folder. So I'll have a look in the depot, verify that it's all gone. First line P4 files of gavtest bip, that's been deleted. Check. Second, gavtest. Well, that's not an entity, so it just says no files because a directory is not a thing. A directory is just part of the path name. So then the 3rd command, we've got the 3 dots on the end, and that shows everything that's under that path. So it's almost like a directory, but really it's like a filter. So you're saying anything that's got a file name starting with Perforce Playground gavtest / anything under there. And we can see, yep, a file got deleted under there. And then finally, just that bar.txt. Yeah, that's gone. We'd have expected that. So let's have a look on our file system now. Bar.txt is gone. Check. Secondly, our gavtest BIP is gone. Check, no such file as directory. But if you list out that directory, if you're not familiar with how a Unix style shell works, if you do a list on a directory, if there's no such directory, it will tell you no such file or directory, but it hasn't done that here. So it's indicated that there is actually something there. There is actually a directory still at gavtest. So us deleting those files has not deleted the directory. Right, let's have a look at this by creating a new workspace just to try to look at it from another angle. So we're just checking out Perforce Playground. In P4, what you can do is create a workspace that's just for a subset of a project. So this speaks to how you partition your projects, right? So if you've got a core engine and then you've got like client stuff, you could check out just the bits you need and you don't need this massive hefty checkout. So that's what I've done here. I've literally created a workspace that's just for Perforce Playground. So I'm only using a few meg on my file system rather than, I don't know, half a terabyte or whatever my main project is. And in here, you can see at the top in my old workspace or my main workspace, I've still got my gavtest folder along with some stuff that the Unreal Engine's just generated that I never submit because it's just, I filter it out because it's like runtime artifacts and stuff. But in my playground, I haven't got my gavtest folder because it's been removed, right? It's not in the latest version. So the deleted files are removed from the depot, although they are in history and they can be removed. And P4 deals with files, and directories are not entities as such. And if you delete files from a directory tree and that tree is left empty, nothing's going to automatically clean it up for you. Okay, so that's the key thing to understand. So let's think about this from the multi-user example. So I've done a very similar thing here, is I've got this gavtest2 directory now with a file bar in it, and I've added that. And then I created another workspace on the side, which is called Playground 2 or something like that. And I checked that out there. So I had gavtest2. Then what I did in my original workspace is deleted that folder, not through P4V this time, not through P4 itself, just deleted it on the operating system. But obviously, if you do a sync there, it's all still good. It's all still there until I committed that. So I committed that change. So now gavtest2 bar is gone. And then on my second workspace, I do an update, I do a sync, and the file's deleted. So this is on my playground workspace just off to the side. I've got a checkout there, a separate checkout, and yeah, it's deleted the file, but I've still got the gavtest2 directory. So before, what we'd done is we created a completely blank workspace and it just checks out stuff that had stuff in it. Now, what we've done is we've done an update and it's removed the file, but it's left the directory behind. So again, you can't expect P4 or P4V to clean up empty directories automatically. So if you've had that file at any point and you do a sync, it'll remove it, but it won't remove the paths leading to it. Because as far as P4 is concerned, they don't exist unless there's anything in them. So if you've got an empty directory with nothing in it, P4 doesn't care. So the only real negative effect this has is it's a bit confusing because you're looking at stuff like, I deleted that. Why is it still here? So yeah, that is really confusing, but I hope you understand from this why. But what I did here is I created yet another Perforce Playground and another checkout of it. And here I don't have that directory because again, it's a fresh checkout. So it's the difference between a fresh checkout and updating an existing one. And I would not encourage you just to create a fresh checkout, a fresh workspace every time because you'll run out of workspaces. If you're using the free product, I think the limit's 30 and you'll just mess up. It's not designed to be worked like that. But because there's nothing in this folder, it ain't checked it out. It doesn't exist on the system. So with a fresh checkout, you won't get it. Whereas with the existing checkout, it's not going to clean that directory up for you. You're going to have to do that yourself. So that's just a communication issue. Hey, I deleted this tree. If you're still seeing this directory, remove it. Or you could have a script that just goes through and deletes empty directories. That's another way you can approach this. But here's the wrap up. Perforce versions files and not directories. If deleting files leaves an empty folder, that empty folder remains on your local machine, so you remove it yourself. And that's whether you've deleted it or whether it's someone else deleted it and you've synced it. Yeah, the file will be gone. Like the space is freed up locally, all that, but the folder will still be there. Other users may also be left with empty folders in their workspaces after syncing. So it's a communication thing and an understanding thing. It's not like a technical problem. It's not going to break anything. So that's all I really wanted to say about that. I think I've laboured the points enough, hopefully. I really hope that's clear. It did take me a little while to really get my tentacles around that. But thank you very much for watching. So these videos aren't necessarily about my areas of expertise, but areas of growth and research. And do please feel free to browse around the rest of my channel. Thank you very much.